Hello guys, how is everybody doing? My name is Maxwell. I'm just trying to make this quick video to address an issue or a video that has been in circulation on social media, especially from my home country, Ghana. It's as to response to Apostle Amoako-Atta and his interview with Captain Smart. This man is making or has made a lot of assertions that needs to be addressed. And he being an apostle, one would expect that he would have rather a deeper understanding of the scriptures. He made certain statements that it's very appalling, and I don't understand why. And he needs to explain why. I don't know how long he has been holding the Bible or how long he's been reading it. And for him to come up and say that the Bible or scriptures has been written to enslave or to make people not to think, he made some statement like this. Religion was invented to exchange our spirituality. What is spirituality? And what is religion? What is spirituality? What do you mean by spirituality? What do you mean by religion? Who invented the religion? And I would have to suppose that he means Christianity because his references are from the Bible. So I'm picking in on that. You see, I have problem with anybody who will read the scriptures and see A and call it B. See a dog and call it fish. Or see a fish and call it dog. I don't have problem with anybody who doesn't believe it. That is fine. That's your belief. We all believe one way or the other. If you're somebody you don't believe it, you believe in something too. So there is nobody who says that I don't believe in anything. For you not to believe in something means that you must have believed in something else. So I don't have problem with you if you don't believe. But for you to read it and turn it upside down, yes, that I have problem with you. And he made some statements like religion is an act of occupying limited minds. Really? What kind of religion are you talking about? Christianity? Christianity is made to occupy limited mind. No, the problem is that you people who call yourself apostles are the people who are making the people or limiting them to understand the word. You are the people who are not giving the truth as the word says. You are the people who are embellishing the truth. You cover up the truth. So it is not meant to limit people. It is meant to liberate people. It's meant for people to be enlightened. It is meant for people to have a deeper understanding about situations and circumstances. So you are wrong on that note. Any scholar of the Bible will tell you that it enlightens. It teaches wisdom. It teaches knowledge. It gives you guidelines to apply to your life. So where are you coming from? When did you get this knowledge that you are trying to throw dust in the eyes of people? It is time that we will hold the bull by the horn. I'm just going to go straight to the point. You made mention of 1 Timothy. So we will go to 1 Timothy and we nip it right there. Okay? 1 Timothy chapter 6 is what you mentioned. And I'm going to read. Now, let me give a little background about the book of Timothy and who wrote it and what is it for. For your information, this book was written in the 1st century, the latter part of the 1st century. So what you are setting it to be that it has been written to enslave people. When did slavery start? Let's talk about slavery has been around for long, But let's talk about, you are talking about ours. You say ours, so I will mean that you are talking about African slavery. So when did the slave trade, when did it start? When did it end? This book was written to Timothy in the first century, later part of the first century. So how does that apply to people here? Okay, Timothy happens to be one of the young followers of Paul. And at a point of a time, Paul has to appoint Timothy to lead one of the churches or one of the branches that have been opened in a place called Ephesus. Now, Ephesus happened to be in Asia Minor. So if a book is written to somebody who is pastoring a church in Ephesus, Asia Minor, how does that relate to you, a Ghanaian? I mean, what is it about a black people? I don't get it. Do you see the point? You make an assessment, assertions that you have no truth to that. Okay, let's see. So Paul gave instruction to Timothy as to how to lead this church. Now, there has been a transition. This is a church that's already been established. Some people were already leaders. So Paul is sending Timothy there. And Timothy happened to be the pastor there now. So Timothy needs some instructions. Timothy is just a young guy who is going there to lead elderly people. And you know, in every society, when we have a new leadership coming in, there are people who always resist. There are people who always not sure of who the leader is going to be. So he's giving Timothy a direction or instructions on how to lead, so that he can be an effective leader. Now, Ephesus is a kind of like a commercial city where the church there has a different or a diversity of ethnic groups in the church. There are people from all over in that church with different backgrounds. So for Timothy to be able to lead this group, he needs to balance everything that he does, so that he doesn't become a leader who is biased, just like some of you are. So now that people have become saved and they are in the community church and they have secular jobs that they do, and they are also in the secular kind of services, there needs to be a civility in this gathering, and there needs to be a discipline. Other than that, there will be chaos. So Paul wrote these instructions to Timothy. And one will ask that, why do we find this book in the Bible? Yes, it is a book that has a lot of wisdom to leaders, those who are leading. Even if you have been a leader for years, that book is good for you to be able to lead the people you are leading. So that is why it is found in the Bible. Paul wrote another book also to the church itself, which is called the book of Ephesians. So when you read what he wrote to Timothy and you read what he wrote to the church itself, you will see some similarities in it. One buttress the other. So let's read now. Timothy has a potential to be a leader, but then the fear of Paul is if Timothy will stand the test of leadership. So that is why he has to give him these instructions as to how to lead the people. 1 Timothy chapter 6. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed. 2. And they that have believing masters, let them not despise them, because they are brethren. but rather do them service, because they are faithful and beloved partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort. These things teach and exhort. Now, in this urban church, in a community that has a diverse of people, in a society that is a commercial society, so there are people in the church who are servants. When you say servant, who is a servant? Servant is somebody who's providing services. And yoke, what is yoke? Yoke is a symbol that is being used to explain bond or an agreement. Okay? You have to understand the ancient linguistic language used. A yoke is something that binds one, two, or three together. Something that puts together an agreement and a bond. So he's saying that you, those who are under this bond as servants to masters, honor them as worthy of their position as your masters. Well, there's a possibility that people in the church will become arrogant to their masters, like we see today, like children become arrogant to their parents. So the instruction to Timothy is to teach them that, hey, for the fact that you have become a Christian, you are free, you have been liberated, you have been enlightened, you have wisdom, doesn't mean that you should not respect your leaders. You should not respect your boss. You should not respect your masters. Because in the first place, it is an agreement between you and your master that you become a servant. How do people become servants? There are many ways in which we become servants. Some people become servants because they are very poor, they can take care of themselves. Some people become servants because they have to redeem something that they have with the master. Maybe you have a land, it comes to a time that you cannot take care of the land, you can pay taxes of the land, somebody comes to buy the land. Now, for you to redeem this land, you have to work for it. So you work for the master for a period of time and you get your land back. There are some people have children that they can't take care of them anymore. They are so poor that they'll give the children to the masters. That, hey, take this child of mine, let him serve you, let the child stay with you. So in this process, there's a possibility that when these people come to the saving knowledge of Christ, they will become arrogant and they'll become disrespectful. That is what is meant here. Now, servants, one way or the other, we all do some kind of services. If you are a nurse, what are you doing? You are serving in the hospital. If you are a doctor, what are you doing? You are serving. All what you are doing, you are providing services to the people. You are a plumber. The lights go off. We need an electrician. The electrician come and put the lights on, rectify all the problem. He's doing service. So all that he's saying to them is that all those of you who are in this kind of services of bond with your masters, you do service and you are paid. Make sure that you reverence, make sure that you respect your masters. It's as simple as that. Okay, when we come to our current day life, we work at certain places. Let's say you work for a pharmaceutical. You have to work within the confines and the policy of the company. You sign certain documents that states that, hey, I'm ready to adhere to the policies of the company. It's a yoke between you and them. Once you break it, they can fire you. You are doing services. You don't take the, how do you call it? You don't take all the formulas of that company and give to another company. It's a breach of contract. You don't take all their secrets and go and sell it to somebody else. Look at our military men. When you go to the military, you sign a bond. They have to make sure that you are within the confines or the policies of the army, so that you don't go and join the opponents. You don't go and join the enemy. So one way or the other, we are all in some kind of bond by our service and by our profession. So what is that? What has that got to do with slavery? You are wrong, Apostle. You are wrong. You do not understand what you are reading, and you need to go back to get the understanding, or let somebody teach you. You are throwing dust in the eyes of people. Let me look at these two. Okay, these are the instructions that Paul gave to Timothy. And let's see. Paul wrote something also to Timothy. We're going to see if it also meant to enslave people. The same 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 1 says, "Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the youngest as sisters, with all purity. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity." Is it also to enslave people? Is it not a wise saying that if a young man wants to address an elderly person, he should not rebuke him in public or make fun of him? You, as an apostle, would you expect those you are leading, young men, when you do something or you say something that is not right, you do something that is not right, would you expect them to rebuke you in public? Or you would expect them to come to you and address it with you? Is this to enslave them? It's telling Timothy that Timothy should address the elderly women as his mother. Is it not a profound thing? Is it not to bring civility? Is it not to bring discipline in the church or in the gathering? In your home, Apostle, would you expect your daughter to rebuke the mother? Or you would expect your daughter to come to the mother to address any disagreement or grievances that she has? Do you call this written by some people to enslave some people? How about your son? Would you expect your son to rebuke you in public? Or you would expect him to come if he has grievances about anything, so that you talk about it? So what are you saying? What has slavery got to do with this? And for your information, then I close. Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. Let me let you know that the Bible never condones slavery. Slavery is an act that is done against humanity, that is a criminal offense, that is evil, that has been done. I do not support it a bit. The Bible never condones it. Okay? So let's read in Exodus 21, verse 16. What does it say? "And he that steal a man and sell him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And he that steal a man and sells him, or if he be found in his possession, be surely put to death." So, You say anybody who goes to steal anybody, anybody who goes to capture anybody, anybody who goes to invade, steal the people, sell them, that person should be put to death. Does this condone slavery? As much as I know, the slaves were captured against their own will. The slaves were stolen, were sold into bondage against their will. And the Bible says that he who does that should be put to death. What are you talking about? You need to go back to the word and study your word very well. The Bible never condones slavery. And when you are reading the Bible, read the fine print. Sit down to understand the language that is being used. There's a language barrier that I think that you do not understand. Okay? Thank you. I'll come to address the rest of the issues that you claim. Thank you.